This is TV Platinum. Here are the top 5 stories making the headlines.
On number 1, the Defense Headquarters has announced that the Nigerian troops achieved significant victories in internal operations throughout August, neutralizing 1,166 terrorists, arresting 1,096 suspected terrorists, and rescuing 721 kidnapped individuals. Major General Edward Buba, Director Defense Media Operations, reported that several high-profile terrorist leaders were among those eliminated in the northeast and northwest regions. These include Munir Arika, Sani Dila, also known as Dan Hausawan Jiblaram, and Amer Modu in the northeast, as well as Kachala Dan Ali Garan Fadama and Kachala Dan Mani Na Ina in the northwest, among others. On number 2, a federal high court sitting in Abuja on Thursday dismissed the lawsuit filed against #EndBadGovernance protesters for lacking diligent prosecution. Justice Peter Lifu struck out the case after the 17 plaintiffs and their lawyers failed to appear in court. The plaintiffs had alleged that the protests infringed on their fundamental rights, including freedom of movement and the right to national peace and security. They sought a court order compelling security agencies to stop the protests, but the judge dismissed the case due to their absence. On number 3, the federal government has condemned the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors for embarking on a 7-day warning strike. The government argued that the issues prompting the strike, including the unresolved abduction of Dr. Ganiat Kukuola by bandits, were being addressed. In response, the government announced it would implement a no-work, no-pay policy for the duration of the strike, expressing disappointment in the doctors' decision to halt work despite ongoing efforts to resolve their concerns. On number 4, Alhaji Abdul Samad Rabiu, the chairman of BUA Cement, has revealed how cement dealers undermine the company's policy of selling cement at 3,500 per bag. Speaking at the 8th annual general meeting in Abuja, Rabiu explained that although BUA Cement sold over 1 million tons of cement at a reduced price, dealers exploited the situation by reselling the product to consumers at inflated prices ranging from 7,000 naira to 8,000 naira per bag. The company eventually discontinued the policy as it was not intended to subsidize dealers who were profiting from the high margins. And lastly, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FTCC) has issued a 1-month moratorium to traders and market stakeholders involved in exploitative pricing, urging them to reduce the prices of goods. Mr. Tunji Bello, the newly appointed Executive Vice Chairman of FTCC, announced this at the stakeholders' engagement on exploitative pricing held on Thursday in Abuja. Bello warned that enforcement actions would begin after the moratorium, as the Commission aims to curb the growing trend of unreasonable pricing and unwholesome market practices.
Those are the top stories. Do subscribe and follow us across all our platforms to get more of this update.